Hi everyone and welcome to this week's video. I started the week thinking, right, I'm going to clear Operation Clean Surface in the house. So I've cleared surfaces, I've had a little furniture move, and in removing all my stuff, including the kitchen table, and everything has been deposited in the cabin and consequently it's all up here. I'm in utter chaos. I can't believe this whole shuffle thing that goes on. Now, I know how it happens because now I'm thinking, well, I've got lovely clean dining room table. I could nip down with some charcoal and paper and work on my sunflower down there. But no, I will take time. I'll clear all this lot and get some surface in here. I've bought up one of the lovely sunflowers that I collected up last week. My aim with the sunflowers, I'm particularly interested in the back. The other reason for the sunflowers is I want to dry them. I'm waiting for some of them to open fully. I've read that they need to go in a dark place, a dark, dry place. I have also read on YouTube that on a hot day you can speed dry flowers by putting them in the boot of your car. I'm really tempted. There is sunshine today. It's not hot weather at all, but I'm tempted to have a go at that. If you speed dry, apparently you can get more colour. It's a job done. And the ever disappearing scissors, well, 3 pairs have emerged. So that's good. I've got a second coat of gloss on my new sketchbook, and I've also unearthed that board that just fell by the wayside, so I'm excited to see that again. These things I'm taking back down to the house. I've got some mini acrylics. I haven't actually tried these. They are flexi tip art markers. So I'm going to have a go with those and see what happens. When I say see what happens and have a go with them, what do I actually mean? The degree it will seep through the paper, I'll try it on a piece of rough card. I do not obviously want strong markers seeping through card work. And the other thing that interests me, if I pull acrylic over, what will happen? Will it shift? So on skinny paper, just cartridge paper, they seep. But when I pull the paint over, there's not too much movement. Right, card, no good. No good on card because that's so strong, that's come through 250. So I have to be very, very careful with these. Could I then, on a piece of board, let's see. So obviously it hasn't come through the canvas board and there's no shift. So there is a little bit. Yeah, I think there's a tiny bit of shift because it's making that white paint rather pink. So I can bear that in mind. That's quite a good exercise. Morning everyone. Well, I came up this morning to carry on with sunflower and then remembered it's in the boot of my car, attempting a speed dry. Oh, my attention was taken by these Nigella. This is the second big bunch that I've cropped from outside. There's a bed just outside the cabin. Some have started to bleach already out really well, dry, and lose their colour outside already, so I need to be a bit quicker if I want to catch any of this lovely aubergine. I'll go down to the house and I'll bring up a sunflower and push on with that. These are Neocolour Caran d'Ache water-soluble wax crayons. I was using them to prop the sunflower up, and as well as having a play here with the oil pastels, I had a go with, this is the water-soluble, over here it's all a bit wet, but these are really quite lovely. You can just have a scribble, and then because I just want to get my hands in things, you can just give them a wash. If you try not to hit the black of the charcoal. So just really experimental. I've really enjoyed the blind contour drawing of the sunflowers with the charcoal. And then this is just an opportunity just to experiment. You know, what will happen if I mix that with that? It might go wrong. Splatting down the acrylic ink was a mistake. You're asking questions and finding solutions. So how am I going to get rid of that? Will acrylic go over it? Obviously, I'm too impatient. I haven't let things dry. I will let it all dry now and just see. I forget just to experiment with the things that I've got around me. It's a good opportunity. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Don't let things languish on your shelf. Get them on paper and see what they might do, mixed with other things you've got. Oh, and behind I've got, and I'm really pleased with how this is going. Crumbs, this really has been patiently waiting. It's been shifted and moved around. And if you remember, there were two parts to this. It was a transcription piece that I did years and years ago of the bather. You can just about see her in there. And I decided just to leaf her up a bit. Oh, and I gave Angel some darker hair because I was messing with the cards and gave her hair and earrings in the cards. So I'm now thinking, I think she's missing out on the painting, so I might now have the confidence to put Angel some earrings on the actual original painting, isn't it? It's just great fun. I love that things keep developing. To me, that's the crux of all of it. It's not done and dusted. They can keep going. And now my eye's taken over there. What could I go and do over there on that concertina landscape while I've got that black ink? Morning everyone. I have got something nice to share this morning. Last night in concertina book, I'll start working on some sunflower pages. And then I was thinking about sketchbook covers and thought, oh, perhaps I'll have a go at a vertical panel on this sketchbook. So I drew a template in my everyday and put in a template and then worked as if that's my A5, my concertina, and that will be the panel, the centre panel. I'm definitely going to mask up. I've bought up another sunflower from the bunch, and I need to take my sheet with the charcoal work outside and fix it, give it a chance to dry before I do anything more on that. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking to myself, do both at once. Back to the sunflower sheet. I've fixed this and I'm going to try and see if I can go in again with the charcoal. Where do I want him to go? This is the usual blind contour, but I'm trying to be a little bit heavier handed. I want it to show. shake that out, fix it and come back, I think. It's a beginning. On my concertina covers, I added a little bit more in carefully. And this was one of those marker pens I showed you, the flexi tip markers. They're by Montmartre. I don't think they're spendy. This is a purple and I put the white paint over and it went pink. So these will be quite useful. I like the effect. So I'm glad I messed about with those. I can't work out the on and the off switch today on the camera. Oh golly. I thought I'd filmed this sunflower attempt, but I didn't. So I've done it and I'll take a photograph and drop it in. Messing with the oil pastels, the soft pastels, some water, charcoal, everything the same. And it's given me a bit of a different effect, which I like. Morning everyone. I think that sunflowers theme will be rolling into next week. In the comments, hello Anne from Florida. Anne always sends comments and gives me lots to think about. She mentioned Van Gogh and his wonderful sunflower paintings, and it prompted me to dig around in my bookshelves last night. I couldn't recommend a better book than The Letters of Vincent van Gogh if you're interested in Van Gogh. And bizarrely, this is so spooky, the bookmark is sitting in the Arles pages. These are mostly the letters that he wrote to his brother. Few artists' letters are as self-revelatory as Vincent van Gogh's, and this selection, spanning his artistic career, sheds light on every facet of the life and work of this complex and tortured man. Engaging candidly and movingly with his religious struggles, his ill-fated search for love, his attacks of mental illness, and his relationship with his brother Theo, the letters contradict the popular image of Van Gogh as an antisocial madman and a martyr to art, showing instead a man of great emotional and spiritual depths. Above all, they stand as an intense personal narrative of artistic development and a unique account of the process of creation. They're really good. When he was in Arles, he wanted to set up some kind of art movement down in the south of France, waiting for Gauguin to arrive. In the letters, we read for the first time how Vincent intended to set off the place before Gauguin's arrival. Some 6 paintings of sunflowers, a decor in which the vivid or broken chrome yellows will stand out sharply against various blue backgrounds, from the palest Veronese green to royal blue, in a frame of thin slats painted in red leaf. Writing to Theo, he went into further details about his project, which was rapidly expanding in both size and ambition. So that's a really, really good book, and I'm so pleased. I won't be able to put that back on the shelf now. I have got, I wanted to share it with you now, but this video will just be too long. So next week I'm going to talk about, I've given myself a challenge. The idea struck me this morning, and I have most of the things I need. I dashed out and picked up a couple of things, and all will be revealed next week. Have a great week. Fantastic comments. Thank you so much. This is such a two-way street. Your comments spur me on. A very lovely thing this YouTube channel has become. Have a lovely, lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. I just realised I haven't said, I mentioned taking photographs of your work, which because I'm using the camera, it's very hard for me to do, and I'm so in the flow that I forget. But if you can take photographs of your work at stages, it's really, really useful. Those photographs I had to take from the screen, but they will be very useful. I can print them out, along with everything else as some reference material. Yesterday's endeavours ended up looking like that. And I can almost hear you saying stop, stop at some of the stages, because when I edit, I think the same thing. But you have to keep going. You have to keep going because it's exploring. I know how to do the bits that I know how to do, and it's the rest of it that is of interest and that will lead me on, that will keep me moving forward. Right, I am stopping here. I will see you next week.